We kind of miss it sometimes, missing our friends, but when we go someplace, we get to meet other people, but then you have to say goodbye to them. But, other than that, it's pretty fun.
Before Joaquin Phoenix would take on the iconic role of Arthur Fleck in the origin film of the Joker, and the film would receive rave reviews and become the most anticipated film for 2019.
You don't listen, do you? You just ask the same questions every week. How's your job? Are you having any negative thoughts? All I have are negative thoughts.
Before Joaquin Phoenix would command the screen in films like The Master, Her, Gladiator, and Walk the Line, picking up a Golden Globe win, 3 Academy Award nominations, and even a Grammy.
And the Oscar goes to Daniel Day-Lewis.
Before Joaquin Phoenix would make headlines for his bizarre appearance on David Letterman's late night talk show back in 2009.
You're not going to act anymore?
No.
Huh. Why is that?
I don't know.
Now, I haven't been this hyped for a movie in a very long time. Now, it's been over a decade since we got to see Heath Ledger's phenomenal Oscar-winning performance as the Joker, and the tragic events that unfolded after have only shrouded this disturbing character in more lore and intrigue. Now, Joaquin Phoenix, he was actually a close friend of Heath Ledger's, which is a spooky fact in itself. In this video, I've dug up a bunch of information about this man's childhood and his journey that you might not even know about. I'm talking about his family ties to a cult, the scar above his lip, the passing of his brother River, and like a whole bunch more. He's also a lifelong vegan. In fact, he won't even wear leather. Now, due to the subject matter and the guy we're talking about, well, this is definitely going to be one of the more interesting videos we've made here in a while. And before taking on the role of the Joker, well, Joaquin Phoenix, he actually played Superman first. Yeah, who knew that? What's going on, guys? It's your boy Michael McCrudden taking a look at the life and career of Joaquin Phoenix prior to fame, and well, his role as the Joker, here for you, of course, on Before They're Famous. Now, we make a lot of videos here on this channel, but this is a story that really intrigues me. Now, I've doubled down my efforts and have sourced the best research possible. I'd love to make more videos like this. How about one on Robert De Niro or the Joker director Todd Phillips? You know, this guy.
Hello. Yeah? I'm here for the gangbang.
That right there is the greatest cameo ever. Seriously, for that right there, I believe Todd Phillips, he deserved an Oscar, my personal opinion. Now, I read a lot of your comments, especially on the videos that do super well, so I want to hear your feedback. I'm going to ask you guys a lot of questions in this video, and well, let me know what you think about the Joker. If you've seen it already or if you've just seen the trailer, I would love to hear what you guys have to say down below. All right, now let's get into this video. Joaquin Phoenix was born Joaquin Rafael Bottom in San Juan, Puerto Rico on October 28, 1974, which makes him 45 years old at the time of this recording. Now, his childhood is about as bizarre as it gets. Let's start with his parents, and well, let me know if you think Joaquin is the spitting image of his father. I can't believe it.
I feel that their opportunities are just amazing, the things that they've gotten to do and have gotten confidence.
His dad was born John Bottom in Fontana, California, and is of English and distant German and French ancestry. Now, his mother, Arlen Dunetz, she was born in New York to Jewish immigrants from Russia on her father's side and from Hungary on her mother's. Now, the two met while his mom was hitchhiking to California after growing discontent with her life as a married secretary living in New York. Now, John Bottom, he was a hopeful songwriter, and he picked her up on the side of the road. 2 years later, the couple wed. Now, it was the end of the hippie 60s, and there was a movement of people looking for refuge from the vices like drugs and free love, and the couple, they soon found themselves members of the religious cult known as Children of God.
These are some of the revolutionary Christians. Their contemporaries in the hip scene call them Jesus freaks. They call themselves the Children of God.
Now, as missionaries of the Children of God, their work of spreading the word of the organization, it took them to places including Central and South America. Now, Joaquin, he was the third of 5 children born to the couple, each given their own peculiar names. Now first there was River, then Rain, Joaquin, Liberty, and Summer. Now feeling he had gotten the short end of the stick in the name game, well at 6 years old Joaquin, he took to calling himself Leaf, and that wasn't until his teens. Now explaining his early name change, he has since stated, "All the other kids in my family had gorgeous names and I got Joaquin, you know what I mean? So I said, this is not good, even I can't say it." Contrary to popular belief, the scar on his lip is not the result of a repaired cleft lip. It's simply a birthmark. Now Joaquin, he has explained that while his mother was pregnant, she felt a sharp pain one day, and then he was born with the mark on his lip. Now he also spoke Spanish as a small child, but he forgot most of that as he got older. Now the family, they lived in a rat-infested shack with no toilet and barely enough food or money to survive. Now eventually they grew fed up with their missionary lifestyle. Meanwhile the cult, it was being exposed for its abuse of power, misconduct, and improper handling of its finances. Now to escape the organization, the family first had to move to the outskirts of a Venezuelan commune before being smuggled back to the United States on a toy-filled freighter. And that first dropped them off not in Los Angeles, but in Englewood, Florida. Now for some time the family, they were homeless, living in their car before eventually making the move back to Los Angeles. And there they bunkered down in a one-bedroom apartment that forbid any children from living in the house. So the kids, they were hiding at all times. Now it was during this time of transition that the family, they adopted the last name of Phoenix for its connotations of a magical bird rising from the ashes. The family also decided as a group to become vegan after watching fishermen brutalize their catch on a boat with nails sticking out. Now in Los Angeles, Joaquin's mom, she soon found a job as a casting agent with NBC, and soon after she got an agent for all of her children. Thus began their lives as entertainers. Now speaking more on his childhood, Joaquin has stated, "I had a really wonderful upbringing. We were a tight family. It was wonderful to grow up with so many siblings. We were all just a year or two apart, and we were always so supportive of each other. I learned everything from my older brother and sister and taught it to my younger sisters." Now when they weren't booking gigs, the children, they would perform on the streets and in talent competitions. Now there was something special about the Phoenix children, with them booking plenty of work, sometimes even working together. Check out this clip from the ABC After School special. It was about dyslexia. Now Joaquin, or Leaf at the time as he was credited as, well he appeared in plenty of television shows like this short-lived TV series titled Superboy. Then Joaquin, he made his film debut in 1986 with a supporting role as a wannabe astronaut in the kids' adventure movie Space Camp. I actually watched a big part of Space Camp, and everyone in that, their career took off. His next big break was on the Ron Howard directed comedy Parenthood. This was in 1989, and from what I've seen, it sure don't look like a comedy.
Would it be okay if I stay with you for a while? Okay.
After this success, Leaf, or Joaquin, he was only 15 years old at the time, well, he decided to put his career on hold to travel through Latin America and Mexico with his father. Now at the time, his parents, they were separating, and his mom, she had relocated back to Florida. Meanwhile, his older brother River, well, he had become the hottest up-and-coming talent in Hollywood. Now after appearing in the 1986 film Stand By Me and receiving an Oscar nomination at the age of 18 for his work in the film Running on Empty, River was quickly becoming the industry's brightest star. Now he had also been experimenting with drugs early on. Now reportedly it first started on the set of Stand By Me, where him and a young Corey Feldman, well, they would sneak off to get high.
Oh, it's so frightening.
Oh.
That's why when I'm on set, I never look at the camera. You don't look at the camera.
That's funny.
I'm very frightened right now. I'm dealing with it somehow.
Now Joaquin, he wouldn't appear in any major productions for 6 years, but he did return home to Hollywood to witness his brother's thriving success, which takes us to River's tragic passing on Halloween Eve of 1993. Now, it was Joaquin who placed the 911 call after his brother went into cardiac arrest following a drug overdose.
How old is he?
He's 23.
Stay on the line with me and calm down a little bit, all right?
Yeah, I'm calm, but he's having seizures. Get over here, please. You must get over here, please.
Now, on that fateful night, River, he was supposed to perform at Hollywood's legendary Viper Room, and in his entourage, it included his sister Rain, his girlfriend Samantha Mathis, and other friends including Red Hot Chili Pepper band members. Of course, also there was his 19-year-old brother Joaquin. Now, River, he had taken a combination of two substances at the time, known as a speedball, and then he suddenly felt unwell and was rushed outside by his brother. Now, despite paramedics rushing the star to the hospital, the doctors were unable to revive him. They pronounced him dead at 1:51 a.m. on October 31st. It's actually a super tragic story. Now, River, he was on track to becoming the Leonardo DiCaprio. He was actually 4 years older, a couple years ahead of him, and things could have just went a whole different way. I could go into more detail and make one video dedicated to River Phoenix. If that's something you guys want us to produce, let us know in the comments down below. Now, needless to say, the passing of his brother has had an everlasting effect on Joaquin's life and career. Now, shortly following the passing, the 911 call, it began being played all over the media, which only compounded his grief. Now, later speaking on the matter, which he rarely does, well, he had this to say. To a certain degree, I was always a bit shy, but then after everything that happened, I was shell-shocked in a sense. I don't think I had really been aware of the fame that my brother had acquired because he never carried himself as such. Our television at home only had one channel, and it was PBS. I never saw premieres, never watched Entertainment Tonight, any of that. So his celebrity was another world. And when that world was suddenly brought to our doorstep, I think it just rocked me. You just want to go through your own process of acceptance or understanding, if there is any, without any other influences. Through all that, I hadn't seen much that was positive. I mean, there certainly was an outpouring of love from a lot of people, but more than anything, there was a lot of ugliness. Now, Joaquin's acting career, it was still on hold for another 2 years, and he grew disenfranchised with the industry, which would often compare his work to that of his late brother. Now, through the late 90s, he began appearing in films including To Die For, U-Turn, and 8mm. He also turned down more lighthearted roles like the opportunity to play Dirk Diggler in Boogie Nights, which of course went to Mark Wahlberg. He was also considered for the role of Norman Bates in the remake of Psycho, which eventually went to his pal Vince Vaughn. Now, it was in 2000 when Joaquin nearly stole the film as the Roman Emperor Commodus in Gladiator, which netted him many nominations, including one for an Oscar. Of course, other high-profile roles would follow, including 2002's Signs, The Village, Ladder 49, and then 2005's Walk the Line. For this Johnny Cash biopic, Joaquin was hand-selected by the Man in Black because the man was so impressed with his work after watching Gladiator. His portrayal of Johnny Cash again earned him another Oscar nomination and a Golden Globe Award. He even took home a Grammy for Best Soundtrack for the film. Now, Joaquin, he is notorious for being a man who becomes consumed by his characters. And this time it took his toll on him playing the hard-living Johnny Cash. This resulted in him serving a short stint in rehab for alcohol abuse. Now, speaking on this, he stated, "There was a lot made off my going to rehab, and it seems very dramatic, but it wasn't like that. I just became aware of my drinking as a tool to relax when I don't work. I basically went to a country club where they didn't serve alcohol." For the next few years, Joaquin, he remained out of the spotlight living in New York City. Now, close personal friends, they include Matt Damon, Vince Vaughn, Keanu Reeves, and the late Heath Ledger. Now, he was also dating Liv Tyler for 3 years, and for a short time while they were engaged. Now, his sister Summer, she married Casey Affleck, with whom the two boys cooked up this strange biopic titled I'm Still Here. It was about Joaquin Phoenix's retirement from acting in pursuit of a rap career. Now, the film, it required Joaquin to take on the role as a reality, and they would, essentially manipulate the media. And the whole thing, it just got a lot of mixed reviews.
Sir, can you just pull over for a sec? Dude, just pull over for a sec. I gotta walk around.
Now, Joaquin is an extremely private man, but states he keeps very few secrets. His love life has been a turbulent one, but he is now engaged again to actress Rooney Mara. There was another Oscar nomination for his work on The Master, and he would continue to split his time between feature films and independent projects. Now, the role of the Joker, it wasn't a decision he took lightly. I mean, these are pretty big shoes to fill, no pun intended. And his portrayal, it's going to be a fresh take on the character. Now, preparing for the role, it involved losing quite a bit of weight. We're talking 50 pounds. And for a man who is already a vegan, I'm telling you, that's a lot of work. Now, he also studied personality disorders, and he practiced the laugh over and over and over again until he felt he had finally gotten it right. Early reactions for the film have already further fueled Oscar buzz for Joaquin Phoenix to finally take home a W. Now, the actor, he avoided acknowledging a question at a news conference in Venice about his prospects for winning his first Academy Award. He instead praised the creative process. He stated, "I don't think I've ever had an experience quite like this one. The more unpredictable it was, the more inspiring it was." Now, there have been plenty of tidbits leaked about the filming of this movie. Now, Joaquin, he would storm off set being completely miserable about his portrayal, getting lost in the character, and the foreshadowing of what went on behind the scenes is just almost as intriguing as the film itself. I really just can't wait. I might actually make a follow-up video. We can go to more detail. We can do a versus on Joker versus Joker. I'm looking for your feedback. I'm gonna be reading all the comments. I'm gonna hear what you guys have to say about this video before we move on to the next one. But of course, some easy follow-ups include Robert De Niro, Todd Phillips, or perhaps River Phoenix. You guys gotta let us know in the comments down below. And as for the rest of the story, well, for now that's it, because this is before they're famous. My name is Michael McCrudden. Thanks for tuning into this video. I said enough already. Bye.